Oh, hey guys, what's good, what's happening, and what's going on? Filming with not a lapel mic right now because I had to use it yesterday for the Mackenzie Drive concert. I was pulled up on stage to do a scene with Mackenzie and Geriatric, so I don't quite have it attached. So I'm literally using the GoPro Media Mod mic. Hopefully it doesn't sound potato soup. Anyway, I've been struggling. Go ahead. I don't know why my dog just doesn't want to use stairs today. He's been friggin' lazy all day. I've been friggin' lazy all day. That's why I'm pounding coffee right now. I've been trying to edit those Pound Abbey episodes, but they're pretty much using the same green screen I started off with when I was back in the day making videos. And the Sony ChromaKey can only do so much. It's pretty bare bone basic. Now there is a solution out there if you want to fork out some cash, but I don't want to waste money right now because money's kind of tight until I get my paycheck. Just been kind of, you know, taking her easy on spending any money and doing things a little differently around the house. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm making a coffee, but for some reason this Keurig, you gotta literally 4-point stab the K-cup in order to get it to bleed out. So using the ChromaKey, what was happening was, my first dilemma is that it's 50 shades of green. So you can set your high and your lows in the Sony ChromaKey, and that tends to work until it starts picking up other colors because you went too low or too high and you haven't quite gotten rid of all the green. Because one of the main problems I have is they're sitting too damn close to the green screen. So when they lean back, they hit it with their head and it ripples, or when they're moving their arms around, it's casting shadows on the green screen, causing all sorts of dilemmas. Now, I downloaded a trial version of New Blue's green screen effect, and I tried that out, and that worked amazing. It took it all out. It cleaned it right up. Only problem is the trial version puts an X through the screen with the New Blue logo on the bottom, letting you know that you're using a New Blue trial. Not exactly pro materials. I was like, man, this sucks. What can I do? So I tried to remember what the heck I used to do back in, like I even color corrected the camera or white balanced the camera and all that, thinking that might resolve it. Super didn't. So I was like, okay, what can I do to fix this? How can I fix this? So literally what I ended up doing was oversaturating the video to make the greens more greener. The problem is everybody looked like a zesty cheese Dorito. We can't have that. Like, that looked ridiculous. And I was about ready to give it to him like that and say, this is the best I can do with what I have, because the plugin I need is going to cost me $113. And you know, until this here actually, if it ever does actually start making any sort of revenue, I don't really want to be spending money on it, you know. When you start off a business, and this is not really a business, this is just us having fun on a camera, I kind of don't want to be investing any money into it because I don't do a lot of chroma keying for the vlogs, as you probably noticed. I used to do it back in the day when I would shoot commenting on comments or any other video. I would chroma key out on a bed sheet, and I used to use a program back then called Magic's Movie Edit Pro. And it did a pretty good job because it had some extra features into it. Vegas's ChromaKey in the earlier states when Sony was controlling it was pretty efficient too. I have no idea what the hell happened when Magix picked it up, but they kind of muffed it a bit. They took away a lot of the features that were nice, where you could do color sensitivity. And color sensitivity is key. That's the thing I need. I need to be able to target the greens only and select the channels to target while I'm chroma keying. So I can only X out certain levels of green. And it used to have that, but it doesn't. I got to the point where I was almost tempted to reinstall Sony Vegas 13, which was the last time I did chroma keying for myself, and use that for the Pound Abbey episodes, just so I could have more freedom of range on the colors. And then I decided, you know what? Let's bust out the Google machine. I know there's other people out there that are using friggin' Bed Bath & Beyond bed sheets hanged from a pole for a green screen to do their productions. And there's gotta be another way of doing it. Like, I found one guy who was literally using 2 video scenes, one original, one different. And the original one, he was using a mask generator on it. I tried replicating that. The end result was horrible, so I scrapped that idea. And then I tried another method using green channel escalation. But the problem is in this video, Geriatric is wearing this, like, going to a Hawaii muumuu, and the blues turned green, and all of a sudden she was a floating head. So we couldn't have that. Then I came across this one guy's video, and he took a completely different approach to chroma keying, that I never even thought of. In Sony Vegas, Magix Vegas, he was doing it in version 13, I'm doing it in version 19. You have a color corrector. And then there's a secondary color corrector. The secondary color corrector actually lets you target a specific color channel, red, green, or blue. So I targeted green, and then you can show the mask, and you can actually set it up so that when you show mask, you want the green screen to turn all white and the subjects to turn all black. And you know what? I think what I'm gonna do is bust out OBS and show you what I did, just so you have an idea if you're running into this problem too. Like the video that this guy made, it's a long one. It's about 11 minutes, and I'm pretty sure I can show you quicker on how to do this. If you have Sony Vegas or Magix Vegas and you're running into the same problem, this might be a solution. So I'm just gonna finish making my coffee. We'll head back upstairs to the studio, and I'll show you what I'm doing, because I have one more episode to render and upload to Google Drive so that Jason can download them and upload them to YouTube. I'll be with you in a moment. Alright guys, hopefully you can see this. So right now I got the ChromaKey turned on, and you can see a lot of shadowing down here and just a lot of halo around Geriatric's hair, and there's like some weird shit happening here with Spacey's shoulder and that. And you can see like now we got some ChromaKeying doesn't work that well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in here to FX. So I got the ChromaKey and I got the color corrector going. We're going to knock those out. And knock that out too. That's going to bring us back to our green screen. So basically, normally you would just go back to ChromaKey, right, and think that would work. No, go to the color corrector secondary, click on Okie Dokie. That brings up this. Next thing you want to do is you want to find a green that is roughly in between what you're doing. So I'll grab right here off Spacey's shoulder, and then we go to show mask. Boom. Okay. Everything's gone. We can't work with anything. We're going to solo the track. So you just click on the S next to the track that you want to solo. Now you can sort of see a silhouette, right? So you come down here to limit light. Bring the lows down. Bring the highs up. And you're going to notice a white fill coming in behind. That's what you want. But you want all of this to be white. And everything else to be black. I don't even know if you can see my mouse moving around. You can, but it doesn't really show well when I go over top of the black. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to start messing around with the lows down. Or no, leave that alone. We're going to go to limit saturation. So we're going to start messing around with the lows and see where we can go, where we get a perfect silhouette, so it's all the way down. Then you start messing around with the highs. And what you want to do is you want to get as much white behind them without getting white in them. See, I'm already starting. There's some weird stuff happening here. What's that? If I turn off the mask, what's going on? Oh, okay. No, it's just Jerry holding a wine glass because she likes her wine. And that's about as clean as we're going to get that. But we're not done yet. Like, you can also add some smooth in here. But then there's also this limit hue option down here. So you just got to fiddle with these settings until you get it exactly where you want. Now you're probably saying, okay, but Adam, how is that going to chroma key? Well, the next step is you grab this show alpha, drop it down to normal. You can turn off the show mask, and now you can see behind them, it's pure black, right? So we turn that off. We de-solo the track, and boom, shakalaka, look at that. Way better chroma keying than using the chroma keyer built in. And all we did was color correct. Doesn't get any freaking better than that. And it looks pretty good throughout the whole episode, except for down here, we're getting some gray because shadowing. There was nothing I could do about that. With the chroma keyer, without the chroma keyer. They were sitting too close to the green screen, so that literally is no longer green. I probably could go back into my effects and mess around with a couple of things to see if I can knock it out without making anybody's hair turn transparent. But it doesn't look like... Oh, that's not too bad. Nobody's hair is transparent yet. If I pin that right up. See, that's not too bad. Just gonna move around a bit. And that's about as clean as I can get it working with a friggin' bed sheet for a green screen. So, and as you see on here in the timeline, I actually tried to put a green palette behind them to make it work, and it just wouldn't work. So that's literally how I chroma key now. I'm going to use the secondary colors because it's $113 US cheaper and it gets the job done. So that's pretty awesome in my books. Nice. I should probably make that tutorial a video of its own. Anyway guys, it's mother friggin' supper time, but I gotta let the dog out. I just finished putting in a little session in the arena. By a little, I mean I went for like an hour and a half. Full upper body workout, no legs today. I'm thinking instead of mixing legs in with back, I'll do full upper body one day, full lower body the next. And then when I go back to doing upper body, I'll be crippled and have to limp my way to each machine. Should be kind of fun. So this past weekend hasn't been all about keto one freaking bit. There's been chips consumed and stuff like that, but that's fine. For dinner tonight, having the leftover steak from Saturday. Was it Saturday when we had steak? Friday? I think it was Friday. Yeah, Saturday we had nachos. Friday we had steak. Nick, I can't believe the price that Nikki gets down there. That's ridiculous. She brings this pack of steak, and like this is one of the steaks, okay? The other two are bigger. I don't know how many ounces this is, but these massive freaking steaks, 3 of them in a pack, $35. She got them in Barrie. I always thought the price of food down in Barrie, Ontario would be more expensive than up here. If I were to buy that exact same pack of steaks at Independent, because they don't sell good quality meat at Food Basics, and Freshco, all their steaks are tiny, that would have cost me $85. Easily. So I see this and I'm like, the price tag's still on it. So I'm like, let me see that. She shows me and I'm like, holy shit. Like, okay, cost of living in Barrie is ridiculous. Like an apartment, a small 1-bedroom apartment would probably cost you about $2,400 a month, non-inclusive or something like that. She told me the price and I was like, wow, that's ridiculous. Your utilities are a lot more expensive, but food is cheap compared to up here. And I'm pretty sure that has to do with our rising gas prices. We're all feeling the burn on that. It's $1.67 in North Bay, but they said by the end of March it's gonna be $2 a liter. Thank God I drive a 5-liter friggin' F-150, right? Got this new job with this new pay raise. I'm gonna have to dump all my money into gasoline because it looks like we're going back to the office and driving's gonna be a thing. But whatever, it is what it is. So, but yeah, like that's why like the one night we went out because we wanted to make tacos. So we went to Independent. We bought the keto taco shells. We bought the ground beef because we didn't have any ground beef here, and we bought cheese. And after we were done, it was like, oh, we bought that sauce, that crema, and the mango salsa. Grand total $65 freaking dollars. Like, are you serious right now? $65 freaking dollars? She's like, wow. That's what she said. She's like, you know, I don't mind getting you food from down south because your prices up here are insane. And there was one day when she was in Orchards, she was picking up stuff. The weekend we did the Caesar. She was picking up some stuff to make the Caesar look more, like add more garnish to it, like the ribs, and can't remember what else she grabbed from there, but she grabbed some other stuff from there. And she got talking to people about price of food, and she mentioned that she can't believe how expensive it is up here compared to down south. And the cashier working there was like, I can't afford to buy anything in this store. Like, there's nothing I can afford. She's like, I literally have to do my shopping at stores with the best sales. Every week is a different adventure. And that's how it was for me too. Like, I always thought, like, man, if it's this much for beef up here, imagine what it costs in Toronto. Meanwhile, in Toronto, it wasn't that big of a deal. That's not their problem. Down there, it's the housing crisis. Little did I know. It's like a flip-flop world. Up here, the housing's not too bad. Still pretty expensive, mind you. Talking to my my real estate agent, he asked me a couple times if I was interested in selling, because there's a lot of people interested in buying in this neighborhood, despite the condition of the house. He's like, I could probably double, maybe even triple your profits. And I'm like, that's cute, but then where would I live? Am I gonna buy a new house with a bigger mortgage, like sell this place for like $250,000-$300,000 and then land in a house that's the same size in a shittier neighborhood for $600,000? Like, there's a house actually smaller than this. This is only 939 square feet. There was a house down on First Avenue, which you do not want to live on the numbered avenues because that's like Meth Head Boulevard, and it was smaller than this place, and its asking price was $330,000. Had no backyard, no garage, no nothing. Literally, it was like a tiny little lot, tiny little house, $330,000. A friend of mine posted it on Facebook and I was like, holy crap. And she was bitching about good luck anybody trying to find a new starter home. Because when I bought this house, I bought it for $100,000. And my mortgage was about $300 bi-weekly, $600 a month at the interest rates. So if you look at that and you think about, okay, you buy a $300,000 house, that means you're paying now $900 bi-weekly. So $1,800 a month mortgage on top of your utilities, gas, electric. If it's oil heated, then your oil cost to refill the tank, all that fun stuff. Now doing that down south where you can get a job that actually pays decent, not a big freaking deal, right? Doing that up north where, like I said, I have friends that are working 3 Joe jobs. Between him and his wife, they work 5 Joe jobs. Well, not really Joe jobs, but 5 jobs just so they can afford rent on their apartment, gas for their cars, insurance and all that. So you would literally have to do that to buy a house around here. You'll never have time off to actually do anything because you're always working. And in about 6 months, you're going to be so damn burnt out that you're going to be craving a vacation. But if you take a vacation, you'll lose everything you acquired. Welcome to society, I guess. So unless you land a real sick job or you're part of a real good profession, moving up in the world and getting any real estate is not an easy thing to do in this day and age. Now, there is talk of the interest rates going back up as the Bank of Canada tries to do something to stimulate the economy. We'll see how that goes. That might hurt anybody who bought a house over the past couple of years. I'll be okay. Actually, I'll be fine because my investments will boost big time. So that'll be pretty awesome. But I don't know. I guess we'll have to see what happens here. And with what's going on in Russia and the Ukraine, that's going to do some damage to the economy, or it might stimulate it. We don't know. We'll have to see what happens here. But we're getting into some crazy times, man. Out of a pandemic and into another pandemic. Fun times. Fun freaking times for all. But anyway, guys, I got my steak cooked. I got a salad upstairs. I'm gonna go drive this shit in my face, and I'll talk to you in a bit. All right, guys, had my supper, had everything. We're good to go. Everything is hunky-dory in the chory. That made no sense, but go with it. Okay, this is what's funny, all right? Nikki went out on the weekend, or on Friday, I should say, with Oreo. He was riding in a shopping cart again. You look so happy. She got Scampers her own blanket for her bed. Well, Oreo picked it out. Nice pink blanket. You know, it's super cozy. Soft on the inside. Kind of silky on the outside. She totally has her own blanket in her own bed. And that's Oreo's bunny. It smells like vanilla ice cream. It's pretty cute. Instead of Scampers using her bed, she'd rather curl up on my camo blanket that was originally on top of the shuttle box, but she pulled it down and put it over there. I don't get it. Anyway, go downstairs. Go downstairs, Stumpy. Let's go. We gotta get you outside. First, I need to urinate. Holy piss, did it ever get frigid, frosty, fresh out there, let me tell you. It was like -4 this afternoon, and it's -15 now. That's like a 10-degree drop, because I can do math. Go team me. Want to see something else cool that Nikki brought down for Oreo? Great big freaking container of these Caesar trees. 36 of them in there. She paid $20 freaking. Walmart for $20, you can get 12. Like, talk about the differences in prices between here and there. I tell you, freaking insane, but it is what it is. So, something else I gotta do for Nikki, like she's coming back down next weekend. Because she got time off, so she said she's gonna pop down. I need to fix her son's Oculus Rift. Apparently it's no longer showing any titles. I don't know what happened. I don't know how I'm gonna fix it. I'm just gonna turn it on and do some Google research and see if it throws any error messages, see what the error messages mean. I have a feeling it has to do with the fact that she doesn't have internet at her house. Literally, their internet is their cell phones. They just hotspot everything, hotspot a laptop to it, hotspot the Oculus to it, and the quality of service there is not the greatest. Like, when Nikki calls me at night, she goes in her truck to call me because anywhere else her cell phone doesn't get good signal. So if she gets a call from work or something, she has to call them back, like go out to her truck and call them back, because the quality of service is just garbage. And even when she's talking on the phone in her truck, she has to like relocate her. I told her, I said, just throw your phone underneath your windshield so it has clear view to the sky and you might get better signal, and that seems to work. But if she needs to grab her phone for any reason to look anything up, the moment she opens up like Internet Explorer. Wow, Adam, circa 1996. No, whenever she opens up like Google Chrome or something to do any research, it cuts out the phone call. So that's a major issue. So Fun times. And I'm thinking that's probably what's happening with the Oculus, is the quality of internet service isn't the greatest, so it can't refresh any of the data information from the hotspot on the actual Oculus. So I'm wondering if I just hook it up to my Wi-Fi, if it'll just start working fine. And if it does, then that's the issue, is garbage internet. Because part of the requirements for an Oculus Quest or Oculus Quest 2 is tip-top Wi-Fi. You need awesome Wi-Fi or it doesn't work. So I'm thinking, you know, it worked fine when we were in Bracebridge at the cabin because there was 5G LTE or 5G internet. Let me tell you, that's pretty fast shit too. Like, holy crap, I was on it on my cell phone and I ran a speed test and I was kind of impressed with the numbers. It was pretty decent, I do say so myself. So I'm thinking, if they're getting crap internet, the Oculus just can't update itself and it's purposely failing. So I got that to look at. I don't know if I'll be able to make a video on it because it's a freaking headset and only I can see the contents and I have no data streaming cable for it. Apparently if you have wireless AC, which I have in this house, you can stream it directly to a computer, but it's set up under his account and I don't want to link my Steam library to it. So that's what you got to do. You basically download some Oculus software on your computer and you can play all your Steam VRs on it. But I'm not about to do that just to make a video. So sorry guys. Probably something I'm just gonna fix or take a look at and I'll talk about it in a video or something. I don't know, but one thing I do know is that in another month, hopefully all this frickin' snow is gone. Just enough so I can get the Trans Am out of the garage and into the driveway. Last year I did that. We got a little bit of snow afterwards, but not enough to really care about. You know, at least it's not gonna be a snowbank on top of the car like it was a couple of years ago when I used to just leave it in the driveway and it got underneath the clear coat and underneath the paint and ruined it. It's just going to be a little bit of snow on top. I'm sure the Tremclad can deal with that. Not that big of a deal. Worst case Ontario, I pull it into the garage again, bust out the Easton, and we blast it again with another coat of Tremclad. Yeah, Tremclad! But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me today. It's getting kind of late. It's currently 9 o'clock. I got to be up at 6:30 tomorrow. Got to work and got to fart. That was wet. So on that note, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Ooh, that's ripe. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you did, click that like button. Any questions, comments, concerns, down below they go. And until next time, guys, live it to win it and peace the frig out. Sit, stupid, sit. Good dog.